It's time for Down on the Corner with Dale Hoffman, North Arkansas's premier news talk program. Brought to you by Brewed Awakening Coffee, with 3 locations to serve you. Baxter Regional Medical Center lobby, Highway 62 412 at Balmer Boulevard, and the Walmart East Plaza. And now, Down on the Corner.
Wednesday, October 31st, 2018, and it is 7 a.m. It's a little bit warm outside this morning.
I know, it was a little warmer. I didn't have my coat on, and I
didn't even bring a jacket or anything. It's kind of odd feeling out there. You sense the storms are coming. You know?
Yeah.
So, anyway, good morning. Welcome to Down on the Corner program. Dale Hoffman, your host, along with Scooter Callis. And so, what you know?
I know we got storms coming in. I can feel it.
You can feel that.
It did rain a little bit this morning, but not a whole lot yet. But we got rain coming. That's for sure.
But the colors are so nice this year. I've seen trees that are just wow.
They're coming out looking pretty.
They sure are. Hey, we're enjoying Brewed Awakening Coffee. Hope you're doing the same thing. Brewed Awakening Coffee with 3 locations to serve you in Mountain Home. We've got, of course, Balmer Boulevard that stays busy between 7 and 8 a.m. every day, or Monday through Friday. Then we've got Highway 62 Plaza. They're out by Anytime Fitness in the Walmart area complex out there. And, of course, Baxter Regional Medical Center lobby. So, you know, you can...
Or you can get their maximum strength flavor
right
here.
Yes, maximum strength right here. 94 octane coffee right here. Brewed Awakening Coffee, the best coffee in town. Appreciate Mike and his staff for sponsoring the show. Been with us for many years, and it is the best coffee in town, in my opinion. If you don't believe me, stop by here, the TV station. Just walk through those doors behind the cameras, coffee pots over there. Help yourself coffee. You can sit over here and watch the show if you like. We're at 1226 Commerce Drive right here in Mountain Home. Where's Commerce Drive? Turn north at Pizza Hut.
Right next to the meat shop.
To the meat
Everybody
shop.
knows where the meat shop is.
The meat shop, right? The meat shop's right there, you know. You can hear the cows moo out there. You know, fresh steaks for lunch. Look at Scooter.
Now you've gone overboard. Nobody's buying it.
Stop by and have a cup of coffee with us sometime. Once again, Brewed Awakening Coffee. The best coffee in town. If you're not drinking Brewed Awakening Coffee, you're just drinking muddy water.
There you go. I got water.
Yeah, I did. I had a bottle of water on the way in this morning.
Mine ain't muddy, but I got water.
And, of course, morning prayer brought to you by Roller Funeral Homes of Arkansas. Now's the time to pre-plan, prepare, and be ready. So when the time comes, service for your loved one. Roller Funeral Homes across the state of Arkansas, with all our respect. Very professional, very dignified, but willing to just bend over backwards to please you and help you with the service for your loved one. Roller Funeral Homes across the state. They serve everybody very, very well. And so when the need arises, Roller Funeral Homes. So let's pause now for our morning prayer. Heavenly Father, once again, I'm so amazed at your handwork, the beautiful trees this time of year, and how amazing after summer, the leaves on the trees turn all sorts of colors, from green to red, yellow, orange, and brown. It's amazing. But to me, it's a way of seeing your glory. We fail to remember that the leaves are dying, yet so beautiful, which represents life in Christ is fabulous. Death in Christ is no fear or darkness. You put beauty to the end of a season. What can we learn from that? Lord, I pray you help those that don't believe in you come to know you, and that's my prayer today. Amen.
Amen.
Roller Funeral Homes of Arkansas, bringing morning prayer each and every day with all our respect. Roller Funeral Homes.
And starting tomorrow,
yes, I'm glad you brought that
up. Christian Academy
We've
kids
got a
will be coming over.
Whole list of kids come in.
Do the morning prayer with us.
Sandy sent the list yesterday, and Christian Academy, for those that are unfamiliar, the Mountain Christian Academy will have kids come in. There'll be, what is that, Mike 5 down there?
Yeah.
They'll be on Mike 5. I'll get a little stuffed koala bear I call Smiley Bear, and some of the younger ones, boy, they like to hang on that bear before they go on live. But starting tomorrow, the Mountain Home Christian Academy students will be bringing the morning prayer, and that's a highlight for a lot of folks to see those.
I enjoy it because they're responsible to write that prayer and to do that prayer. It's just really cool. I like that.
I know adults that are scared to death to say a one-sentence prayer in public, let alone these students that come in and do it on live television.
And a lot of them, I mean, they're just unscripted. They just sit down and start praying for everything, anything and everything, and I love it.
Someone say, hey, the show's only an hour long. Anyway, we appreciate the Mountain Christian Academy, and you'll hear more about that tomorrow. And looking forward to having the kids on for the month of November. Hopefully we can carry it all the way through the Christmas break for the kids. But, yeah.
That'd be cool.
That'll be a lot of fun.
And now, dun, dun, dun.
Hey, you oiled that trumpet a little bit.
It's flat.
Need some air. Morning weather brought by Old Time Restaurant on the Square in Mountain Home. You want to eat some good home cooking? Go to Old Time Restaurant, just like going to Grandma's house. On the east side of the square, breakfast and lunch open Monday through Friday, 7 to 2, Saturday till 11 a.m. And the special today is...
You got 2 pancakes. No, I'm sorry. That was yesterday.
That was yesterday.
It's all in my head.
And
it's
you
like
got
a
all
Rolodex.
meat for nothing. No, a meatloaf yesterday. And you own the place.
This morning for breakfast, we've got
Uh-huh.
breakfast burrito. Have you ever had one of our
Yes,
breakfast
I have.
They are massive.
Yeah,
and they're homemade. They're not like what you're going to buy in a store. These are awesome burritos. Comes with hash browns, and it's only $5.88. And for lunch, we've got two choices, ham and beans or liver and onions. Both come with 2 sides, roller cornbread for $6.88.
There you go. Old Time Restaurant on the Square in Mountain Home.
Try their homemade pies. It's worth it. Vinegar pie.
I know.
The name gets you. You got to try
it. It's fabulous.
You got to try it.
Fabulous. Vinegar pie. If you haven't had it, you got to go down to Old Time and try some vinegar pie. Old Time Restaurant on the Square in Mountain Home. They bring you the morning weather each and every day. Need to throw this graphic up here from Weather Nation real quick if we can. This is the storm potential for today. You can see most of Louisiana, parts of Mississippi. And I'm going to say, even though the yellow is not into Arkansas yet, there's a chance that southern Arkansas could get the tornado potential. But right now, Texas, Louisiana, parts of Mississippi, and extreme southern Arkansas do have a tornado potential for today. With that in mind, right now in Mountain Home, we're looking at 64 degrees here, 62 at Harrison, 66 at Hardy. Mountain View's at 64, while Yellville is showing a shower at 66, is 64 in Marshall and Calico Rock. Around the region, St. Louis has already dropped to 57 degrees, while Poplar Bluff is still at 66. Branson at 63, West Plains, Missouri at 65, and putting temperatures in contrast from north to south, Watford City, North Dakota, at 34 degrees this morning. On the radar, we have lots of stuff in our part of the country right now. Let's start in Texas. You can see this out here in Texas, New Mexico, parts of Oklahoma, and Kansas. And we have some shower activity that moves into northwest Missouri. Then we have other shower activity moving into west central Arkansas. So I'm going to hit that Little Rock stop right quick. The Little Rock radar is showing showers from Hot Springs over to Mena, all the way back over into Oklahoma. Fort Smith getting some showers. It's all scattered stuff that's just kind of speckled out throughout the state. Shower activity lining up along Highway 67, 167 towards Batesville and Poplar Bluff, Missouri, all the way across the state line there. So basically Little Rock North and Little Rock West, the showers are entering the state. Of course, you see that from Fort Smith down to Texarkana. Highway 62, 412 east and west are affected by the showers. You can see this right up here in Baxter County. Can I put that in motion real quick?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to hit that loop. And when you hit that loop on this particular model, you can enhance it a bit. So you can see we have shower activity moving into the northwest part of Baxter County right now. Showers leaving the Batesville area, moving east-northeast right now, and then the Hot Spring area with some showers down there. And so, Highway 60, I'm going to refresh this. So Highway 62, 412 east and west are affected by this. Highway 65 north-south, Little Rock Branson. Highway 67, 167 right now affected by the showers. Interstates 30, 40, 49, let's see, I-55 would be clear. I'm going to say I-30 and 40. I'm going to say 40 west of Little Rock, 30 west of Little Rock towards Texarkana has the potential for showers. Not much on I-49 between Fort Smith and Fayetteville right now, but be prepared because it could be. 40 east towards Memphis and 55 north going up into Blytheville, Arkansas, on up into southern the Boot Hill in Missouri. No showers yet, but the day's just starting. In Missouri, a lot more going on there. We'll take a look at the St. Louis stop. Southern Illinois getting a lot of shower activity from Effingham to Vandalia, Mount Vernon down to Carbondale, Cape Girardeau, Missouri, over to Farmington, and all the way down into Poplar Bluff area getting some shower activity. Now this is affecting interstates 24, 57, I-55. You can see I-70, Vandalia, Effingham getting shower activity east of St. Louis, I-64 east of from East St. Louis east towards Mount Vernon, all the way across to Evansville, Indiana, to Jasper, Indiana, getting showers along that highway. I-57, I-24 comes in from Paducah, Kentucky, and then here's I-55 here from Sikeston all the way up into St. Louis. Pretty good amount of shower activity right there in the state of Missouri. Southwest Missouri, we'll hit that stop here out of Springfield. That's surprising. Tulsa, Joplin, Springfield, not much going on, but you can see that line of showers basically Fort Smith to St. Louis lined up right here, and we're getting ready to have another shower come through the Mountain Home area. So, wow, it's going to be a rainy day. See what that forecast. I'm going to refresh this, make sure we're up to date here. Yep, for today in Mountain Home, 100% chance of thunder showers today and tonight.
I'd say they got a pretty good chance.
Pretty well signed the guarantee there, didn't they? Thursday is a 70% chance, so all day today and most of tomorrow, then it drops to about a 30% chance. Maybe when you turn the cameras on at the football field, it'll stop raining.
It'd be nice. It's still going to be wet, which is okay. As long as it's not pouring down rain, I'll be good.
You can work in the drizzle. But
you know, the sad part is, you know what today is? It's Halloween.
Yeah.
100% chance of rain today and tonight. I'm thinking them poor kids that love to go around trick-or-treating and do little costumes and stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's just kind of sad. I don't recall ever being rained out of a Halloween, so I don't know how I would handle that as a kid.
We could get counseling.
I'll get back to the show.
100% chance of showers today and tonight. Thursday, 70% chance. On Thursday night, drops to 30% chance. Friday, 30% chance. And finally, Friday night, partly cloudy. Saturday, partly sunny with a high of 61. Showers again come into the picture on Saturday night. Sunday, 30% chance with a high of 61 there as well. Arkansas Forestry Commission, we have no burn bans issued in the state as of yesterday. The wildfire danger, of course, is low. Still have to be careful. No prescribed burns showing up right now. State of Arkansas drought monitor, of course, is going to change after today and tomorrow and all this rain coming through. This is last Thursday. They update this once a week. So they will not update this again until tomorrow at about 8 o'clock Eastern time. State of Missouri, we'll look at the drought here, and hopefully that'll change for the state of Missouri over the next 24-hour period. Right?
There you go.
All right. I think we covered just about every base.
All right. Switch over to community calendar.
Brought to you by Affordable Housing, 7412883. While you're digging it out over there, I'll talk about Soul Sneakers basketball at First Baptist Church for the 2019 season. The games start, I think, the third Saturday in January. Registration's ongoing. You register online at www.firstbaptistmountainhome.com, or you can call 425-5421 if you need to talk to somebody before you register, if you have any questions. $25 for basketball, $35 for cheerleading. They do need coaches and volunteers, and going to be a lot of fun starting middle part of January of 2019. Soul Sneakers basketball at First Baptist.
Mountain Home Masonic Lodge, number 225, right here in Mountain Home, is going to be giving out free candy for Halloween. So it may be a good idea to at least stop by there. You can be indoors.
Yep.
Get some free candy, but they're giving out free candy at the lodge. It's 606 Gray Street, so it's really cool. That'd be a good thing to go to.
Throughout the month of November, One-on-One Salon is teaming up with the Church of Mountain Home for Coat and Toy Drive. Coats will be delivered on November 30th and toys be delivered on December 15th. Coats can be new or gently used in any size. Toys can be for all ages. Both boys and girls will be accepted. Collection centers be at the One-on-One Salon at 807 South Street in Mountain Home, or the Church of Mountain Home at 683 Green Valley Drive in Mountain Home. All donations are welcome, along with a prayer for little ones in the area. Yep. And Kindness Incorporated's big annual gala is still on November 10th, so don't forget about that. You can sponsor it, ranging in price from $150 to $2,500. You call Debbie Womack at 425-6475. This is their main fundraiser, and Kindness Incorporated is a transportation service for both Baxter and Marion counties. It's a free service provided to the citizens of those counties, whether it be doctor's appointments, hair appointments, dental, eye, shopping, whatever it may be. Just I need to go to Walmart for about an hour. They pick them, take them home, and make sure they're home safe. And so if you'd like to help Kindness Incorporated, give them a call, 425-6475.
All right.
Community calendar brought to you by Affordable Housing, 741-2883. I think it's time for break. Hey, our guest today is Dennis Dunderdale from Arkansas Game and Fish. Always fun when Dennis is here.
And the crowd goes wild.
Flash bulbs are going off everywhere. The paparazzi is here. Hey, we'll be right back.
Thank you very much.
You've tried medications just cover up the pain, and you've tried dieting to help lose weight. Before you try something drastic like surgery to get rid of the numbness and tingling, why don't you try a better approach to health? Hi, I'm Dr. Charles Osgood, and at Mountain Home Family Chiropractic, we heal the whole person the natural way.
At Mountain Home Family Chiropractic, we take a hands-on approach to chiropractic care, massage therapy, and nutritional counseling. Our 20 years of service has led to successful results.
When I come in to see Dr. Osgood, sometimes after one adjustment, I have immediate relief. Sometimes it takes 4 or 5 adjustments.
I recommend Mountain Home Family Chiropractic because it really works and keeps me pain-free.
Mountain Home Family Chiropractic supports the community by donating to Mountain Home Food Basket and the Lions Club. Request an appointment with us today at Mountain Home Family Chiropractic. Excellence for your body and frame alignment.
Whether you're a professional lawnscape contractor or a homeowner in need of quality lawn equipment, Moran's Lawn & Garden has you covered. Moran's is the longest originally owned lawn and garden business in Mountain Home, with a 5,700 square foot warehouse packed full of new current year inventory for all your lawn maintenance needs. Moran stocks a full line of factory parts, and they service everything they sell, offering top names like Grasshopper, Hustler, and Country Clipper. Moran stands behind their quality service with thousands of customers using their products daily. Moran's Lawn & Garden, servicing the entire Twin Lakes area.
With a large showroom of over 13,000 square feet, the Furniture Depot is your local choice for quality name brand furniture at prices anyone can afford. They carry a great selection of catnapper recliners, power recliners with lumbar support, and lift chairs. Check out Furniture Depot's variety of living room and dining room sets in various styles and designs. And don't forget about their mattress gallery featuring Serta, Symbol mattresses, and adjustable beds. Family owned and operated, that's Furniture Depot, located in the Ozark Shopping Center in Mountain Home. When you need durable and comfortable hospital scrub stat, you need the Uniform Shop. The Uniform Shop is the place for top quality uniforms, carrying a great selection of name brands including Carhartt, Cherokee, and Gray's Anatomy, as well as shoes from Clogs, Softwalk, and Landau, stethoscopes from Littman, blood pressure cuffs, scissors, name tag retractable, compression socks, paramedic BDUs, and Rocky boots. The Uniform Shop also offers customizing, embroidery, as well as minor alterations. Let us put you in uniforms. Shop the Uniform Shop.
Our old burger was only 7 ounces, but now it's 8 with brioche bun and pickles. Comes with its own steak knife, it's really that big. Your best competition is always yourself. Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. Oh, baby, Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. We're focused on one thing, burgers, ribs, fajitas. Just that one thing, burgers, ribs, and fajitas. We're reeling in our menu because it got out of hand. We had a moment of self-actualization. Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. Oh, baby, Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back.
Why would I recommend Hospice of the Ozarks? Because I know the people that work there, I know their hearts, and I know that their desire is to help people with the suffering and the anxiety and the things that can come with either terminal diagnosis or a terminal condition. We want them to have a peace of heart and to have a comfort and to know that someone's there to help them through that so they can enjoy the time that they have.
Diatley Dental Care is a family-owned dental practice. Doctors Irvin and Christina Diatley grew up in the Twin Lakes area and are proud to serve the community. With modern treatment methods and state-of-the-art technology, they are dedicated to providing exemplary care to patients of all ages. Our compassionate team consistently receives training above and beyond the standard of care.
We're changing the way you see dentistry.
Come be a part of our dental family.
Life is too short to wear boring clothes. Welcome to Shabby to Chic Salon and Boutique, where we carry the latest trends and fashions and accessories at prices anyone can enjoy. Feel beautiful while looking fabulous with a large range of fashions that fits anyone's sense of style. You're sure to discover something unique and new at every visit. Shabby to Chic also features 12 professional stylists, aesthetics by Amy J, a nail technician, and 4 tanning beds. Excite your style at Shabby to Chic Salon and Boutique in Mountain Home.
7:19, almost 7:20. Denis Dunderdale's here from Arkansas Game and Fish. Welcome back.
Good morning. I'm glad to be back. Boy, it's this year is just flipping right through. I think last week it was 4th of July, and
I think so. Yeah,
here we are. Of course, the weather has finally become a little bit more seasonable. Let's just hope we actually have an autumn season, and that they don't flip the binary switch to go from hot summer to cold winter. But anyway, I don't want to project negatively. Right now, we've got some pretty enjoyable fall weather. Colors are gorgeous. Beautiful time to be in the woods. Deer seasons, the deer season is underway. We kind of discussed that a little bit last month about how the seasons really are not just the rifle season, which is what most people think about when they consider the hunting season, is what we call the modern gun season. We've already had one modern gun season, a short one, the private land antlerless season, which is, I want to say 5 days. I forget. It's come and gone, so it's irrelevant now. But that's a way that we try to take a few more doe out of the population by allowing hunters on private land. Can't go to public land, but on private land you can take deer with a rifle. Prior to that, it's archery only up until, and geez, don't make me quote the date because muzzleloading season has already started, but we have a muzzleloading season that actually comes in 2 times. It opens up now, and if I had my show notes from last month, I'd have all those dates right in front of me, and I forgot to write them down for today.
For Zone 3 for deer, the archery September 22 through February 28th, private land, antlerless only, modern gun, October 13, 17, which is past. Muzzleloader, October 2028 and December 8 through 10 of 2018. Special Youth Modern Gun Deer Hunt, November 3, 4, and January 5 and 6. Modern Gun, November 10 through December 2, and December 26, 27th, and 28th.
And then, of course, archery season goes from the 3rd Saturday of, I think it's the 22nd this year, September 22nd, and goes all the way through the last day of February 2019. So that's, again, it's a pretty generous season.
Winter hunt right there.
Yep, sure is. Now, important point to note, archery hunters are kind of a different breed, and not that they're... boy, I want to make sure I don't spin this in a derogatory light. They hunt differently than rifle hunters do.
Really?
Well, archery hunting is more of an up close. You got to kind of get in there, got to get quiet. You're dealing with short ranges. I mean, 35 yards for archery is a fairly lengthy shot. Now, there's guys, I can take one at 70 yards. Well, maybe, but it's you got to get close to the animal.
Have a rocket booster on that arrow.
Well, yeah, and you've got to be extremely stealthy, well hidden, no motion, scent control, all that stuff. You have to really kind of, and because of that, usually archery hunters are really in that stealth mode, and camo becomes a big part of that. Sometimes archery hunters aren't really all that aware of what other rifle seasons, whether it's muzzle loading or center fire or whatever. It's absolutely essential. It's the law, for one, that you wear hunter orange during those gun seasons if you're an archery hunter.
So what,
if there's no gun season open,
to the overlap here,
right?
Because you could have an archery and you could have archery, muzzleloader, and modern gun all in the woods at one given time.
Yeah, you do, and there's a few of those where that's the case. Excuse me. So we won't have muzzleloader and rifle, together. I don't think those overlap.
I don't think they ever overlap.
No, that's kind of the point. And muzzleloader is more of a close range game as well. I mean, you can't take a 250-yard shot with a muzzleloader, whereas a good shooter can with a center fire. We're going to talk about length of shot and all that in the next segment, but
you do have archery. The archery overlaps.
It sure does. Yeah. Well, it starts and it never closes. You can hunt archery all the way through, from opening day of archery till closing day of, till the end of. But the point I'm trying to get to is, you must be wearing hunter orange during those rifle seasons, whether it's muzzle loader, whether it's the private land antlerless, or whether it's the regular conventional modern gun season. You've got to be wearing that. And if you're hunting from a ground blind, which most archery hunters are going to be in a tree stand of some kind, typically. But there are plenty who hunt on the ground, either in ground blinds or in a makeshift blind. If you've got a pop-up ground blind, it's got to have 12 square inches, 144 square inches, 12 by 12 on each side of that ground blind has to have a hunter orange patch. And what a lot of folks do, simplest way around that is go buy a couple of $5 vests, from Walmart, cut them in half. You get a front half and a back, and just pin that on.
Yeah.
Because you'll get enough on there. And the purpose of that is a rifle hunter going through the woods. If you're moving around inside your ground blind and a hunter in the woods, a rifle hunter coming through the woods, here's a little bit of commotion or rustling. That could very easily sound like, a deer or something, moving around in the bushes, because you can't see anything, because those ground blinds, if they're done properly, are extremely well hidden. But, you see motion. Man, we shudder to think how many people just shoot at something that they're not really sure what it is, but they see the motion and and bam, So that's the reason for that.
Be sure of the shot.
On public ground. On private land, you don't have to put that square.
But isn't that still a good idea?
Oh, of course it is. Yeah, absolutely. It's really amazing. We talk about, here we go on our first digression. I've got a long list here. We might get to point number 2 before the end of the show. But, speaking of that safety stuff, what do you think? I may have covered this last month, so if you already know, then just move me along. But what do you think the number one cause of hunter accident? We don't really call them accidents. Let's call them incidents. But what do we think the number one cause of that might be?
I think it's the deer stand issue.
It is, yeah. Did we talk about this last month?
I think so.
Yeah, it was once upon a time shot being mistaken for game. And then we put the hunter orange rule into effect, because that was back in the... Shoot, when was that?
Early 80s, mid-80s?
Yeah, I could look that up and see when that went in. But yeah, it was, 30 years ago or so. And since then, those types of accidents, they still happen once in a while, but typically during turkey season or duck season, when you're not required to wear them. So since then, those shot mistaken for game incidents plummeted way down. Now the big deal, more than half of our accidents are tree stand related, and most of those are falls, and almost all of those are kind of just like the life jacket thing. Almost all of those are hunters who were not wearing the safety harness, or if they were, they didn't have it set up properly. They didn't have it fitted right, or whatever. But it's a huge component to hunter safety. And man, it's amazing. I'll teach a hunter education class, or I'll go into a group and I'll ask them, just to show of hands, how many here hunt from a tree stand? Because usually more than half the room goes up. It's a pretty popular way to hunt. It's a lot of ways. A lot of times it's how I'll hunt. And then I'll say, okay, keep your hands up if you always wear a safety harness.
Hands go down.
Yeah, and you'll get a handful. It's kind of like how the seatbelt question would have been, 30 years ago. Now I think probably most folks are wearing seatbelts. There are still some holdouts, but anyway, that's a huge issue. Speaking of safety, though, we come out with an annual report, and again, I'm trying to remember if I covered this last month. I think I mentioned it. I don't know if I read it, but we had if not the first time ever, the first time in a long time, 0 fatalities on last year's incident report.
Really?
Which is great. Wow. I mean, and that's another thing too. We've got 300 and let me think here. What have we got? About 250,000 hunters. I forget. I can look up the number of how many licenses are sold, but it's somewhere around the 250,000 range, somewhere in there. Of the 250,000, how many do you think actually report hunting accidents? Now, let me rephrase the question. That's not meant to say how many have an accident and don't report it. And when we say a reportable, we're talking about something that requires treatment beyond first aid. So if you scrape your hand on a barbed wire fence, we're not looking at that. We're talking about something where you need medical treatment. How many of those out of that 250,000 do you think we have generally each year? What would you say?
That actually report it?
Yeah. How many reportable accidents do we have? And it's the law that if you have one of those accidents, you've got to report it either to the county sheriff or to Game and Fish.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So if I shot my nose off and I'm walking into ER with the rest of my nose to have it sewn back on, you got to report.
Yeah, and they'd know in a hurry that it was a gunshot wound, so that's going to ring a lot of bells right there anyway.
But you fall out of a tree stand?
Fall out of a tree stand, break your leg while you're, stumbling down
So this
a hill.
is statewide, how many?
Yeah.
I wouldn't know where to guess.
I wouldn't either.
Well, roughly between 20 and 30.
Oh, so
it's not much. And
Oh,
the reason I bring that up is...
Statewide.
statewide.
Because I was thinking 100 to 200 perhaps.
Yep. And fortunately, it's not the kind of thing, those aren't the statistics the general public or the hunting public typically thinks about. Hopefully they're thinking about the safety, component.
But I don't think many people are thinking about reporting it. You get injured, you go to the doctor, the hospital, and you just move on. I wouldn't have thought of having to report
Well,
that.
whenever you go into the emergency room, they always say, how did this happen?
Yeah.
Now, if you're going to tell them it happened, at home while I was, cutting a steak, as opposed to the knife slipped when I was gutting my deer, well, yeah, there's probably not much. But why would you not? It's not like there's a penalty. There's no ticket points. It's
like,
not illegal to get hurt. It's,
It's like a few years back, my dad fell out of a tree stand and broke everything on one side, pretty much, all of his ribs and all that. And we took him to the hospital, and of course it was a long ordeal getting him fixed up, but we didn't call anybody and report it.
Okay.
I wouldn't have thought of it. So I'm glad you bring that up.
Well, yeah. If you get hurt out there, please let us know. Well, I'll tell you one of the reasons.
I didn't mean to change the direction on how you're going at this, because I think a lot of people just wouldn't think of it.
That's a good point, and I've never really considered that people don't. So there you go. Yeah. But let's just let's stick to my first point. Then I want to come back to that. Let's just say if twice that number of people actually do have accidents and only half them report it, you're still only talking 40 to 50 or
still less than 100.
Percentage-wise, it's 0.001%. I mean, it's tiny. And the reason I bring this up is, to kind of illustrate just how safe hunting is. Statistically, it's one of the safest activities we have out there.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
Let's grab a break real quick.
Okay.
Once again, with Dennis, the day just goes, and it's gone. So, quick break, 7:31, almost 7:32 already. Be right back.
You know where your money goes when you give to charity? At the Salvation Army, 85 cents of every dollar stays to help those in need in our local community. Hi, I'm Captain Spaulding. The money we raise help people in the surrounding 5 counties, including Baxter, Marion, Sharp, Izzard, and Fulton. You can help by donating your unwanted items and by shopping at the Salvation Army store. Those in need get assistance with rent, utilities, sending kids to camp, and many other things. When it comes to this charity, the Salvation Army always helps those in our community.
Have you ever noticed every time you wash your car, you end up wetter than the actual car? Next time, run down to Car Care and let the friendly staff put a smile on your face. Car Care of Mountain Home has a variety of services to clean your vehicle's needs, inside and out. From a simple wash and shine to their outstanding detailed services. Located 1525 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Stop by Car Care Mountain Home today, because driving a clean car always makes you feel good.
Take a step back in time when going to a barbershop meant more than just getting a haircut. Come into Legionnaire's Barbershop today, a unique gentleman barbershop. Get back in style from a former celebrity hairstylist and a licensed barber instructor who are trained in tonsorial arts and lock removal and happy to give you a straight razor shave. Legionnaire's Barbershop is veteran-owned and operated and located at 848 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. For a full, old-fashioned barbershop experience, stop by Legionnaire Barbershop today.
It's that time of year again. Time to take a hard look at your Medicare health plan. If you're looking for a new plan or looking to renew your existing plan, now's the time to renew all your options. At VACO Insurance, we'll sit down with you and show you all the new choices and options, including $0 premium plans with low copays and dental, vision, and hearing benefits. Let us help take the confusion out of selecting a plan and find one catered to your needs. Contact VACO Insurance today, located at 351 East 9th Street, Suite B in Mountain Home.
Nemus Pizza in Gassville, Arkansas is your home for national and international award-winning pizza. Nemus Pizza offers artisan-made award-winning pizza with only the freshest and finest of ingredients. Each pizza is made from scratch and hand-tossed at the time you place your order. And also check out their calzone strombolis, an oven-baked folded pizza stuffed with your choice of meat. Sauce can be on the side or included inside at your request. Nemus Pizza in Gassville, Arkansas, your home for award-winning pizza. And we're back with Dennis Dunderdale, Arkansas Game and Fish.
So we were just talking about whether there's a requirement to report those incidents, or whether it's just a good idea. And a scooter, I can certainly understand how, if folks don't know, if you're a farmer or you're out on your own private land and I don't know, if it's a gunshot wound, that's a different category. But if you fall out of a stand, or if your knife slips when you're field dressing a deer, or and you get a pretty bad cut that requires stitches, you might get, because most farmers I know are going to slap some mud on it, take off their t-shirt, wrap it around it, and either finish work or deal with it tonight. But anyway, if you have to, well, there is, and we just found it in the regs book here. In the guidebook, it's on page 21 this year for, that's this guy. Failure to report a hunting or trapping related incident. Now, like I said, we don't call them accidents, because an accident implies that nobody's really at fault and it couldn't have been prevented. Most of I've never read a report that as soon as you start reading, you don't say, uh-oh, I see where this is going. They're mostly, avoidable. Even the mechanical failure ones, it's usually because you didn't maintain your equipment. But anyway, it says, it is unlawful for persons to fail to immediately report a hunting or trapping related incident involving personal injury above basic first aid treatment to the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission, so an investigation may be conducted. If the incident involves only one individual and they are admitted to the hospital and incapacitated for any length of time, the incident should then be reported as soon as possible. And then it gives the phone number to report hunting-related incidents. Please call 1-800-482-9262. And that's kind of that universal, that's the poaching hotline, and that's all the other hotlines. That one number will get you to a lot of places if you need that. And it's also, I think, on the back or somewhere close to the back of the book. Anyway.
So if my dad's listening, Game and Fish probably coming to pick you up anytime now. So,
that was 15 years ago. Do you know what the interest and penalties are going to be on that fine by now? No, I would imagine that's probably not going to happen. However, it is just good to know that. And that was a sidebar on the point that I was actually making on that, hunting statistically is a really safe endeavor, and we really like to keep it that way.
But when you have less than 50 accidents for the whole state during that season, that's pretty good.
Right, yeah, and that's including ones that we don't know about with a gross conservative assumption. I would bet that there might be 10 or 15% people who don't report, but it's not 50. It's not 100% or 50%. I mean. Okay, a couple of other points. We do have. There's no change in the zone boundaries for the CWD zone boundaries, but we did find a positive CWD sample in Johnson County, which is the first positive sample for Johnson County. That's just Clarksville area. Okay, down in that part of the world. Yep. So that's still right in the middle of the zone.
That's just right south of the Arkansas River.
Well, it straddles the river, doesn't it? Or isn't it? I mean,
right. Doesn't Johnson County and Newton County separate by the Arkansas River? No, I'm too far north. No,
I think you are. Yeah. Now, I think because where this animal was harvested was just north of Clarksville.
Yeah.
So it's in that stretch anyway.
You can see it on the screen.
But Johnson County was already in the zone because it's surrounded by other counties where previous hot samples were taken. So there's no change to the zone, but we just got that. I just got that email last night. So anyway, we're still trying to monitor the CWD situation and keep it from spreading to the degree that we can, and as such we have some special regulations in place to help us along with that. And those regulations for the most part are importation or transportation type regulations. There's a few other ones as well, and I'll go through that. Firstly, because we're finding that CWD tends to be prevalent in more mature bucks, we're looking to increase the number of bucks taken in the zone, and not statewide, but just in the zone. So as a result, we've removed the antler restrictions. Outside of the zone, in order for a buck to be legal, it has to have a minimum of 3 points on at least one side, okay, or be a button buck, which is less than a 2-inch nub. Okay, that's what's considered. Now, in the CWD zone, if you shoot a button buck, you register it as a buck, but it doesn't count towards the 2 bucks that you're legally allowed to take. You still can only take 2 regular bucks. But if you get a button buck, again, we want to know it was a button buck. Don't register it as a doe. It falls into the antlerless category, but it's not a female deer. It's still a male deer. So register it as a buck, but it doesn't count against the 2 that you're otherwise allowed. Okay, so that's the deal on antler restrictions. There's baiting, and of course there's no baiting allowed on public land anyway, but you can bait on private land from September 1st till December 31st. After the 1st of the year, we don't want you to bait. Okay. And the purpose for that requirement is we would really like to eliminate all baiting altogether. But on private land, we really try to be sensitive to the fact that that's a hunting style that private landowners have really become accustomed to, and it's their land and all of that. So we're trying to kind of meet in the middle somewhere. But the reason is because when you're baiting, deer are going to congregate in that area. And I've done it with kids. I don't personally bait myself, but when I'm hunting with a new, a youth hunter or a new hunter, it does increase the chances. And the deer are going to all come right to where that bait is. So you've got several deer all basically licking out of the same food bowl, if you will. And one of the ways that CWD gets transmitted is through saliva, urine, and other body fluids like that, feces, that sort of thing. So if they're all eating out of the same pool in the same general proximity, they're going to be drooling and dribbling all on the same ground, and they're all going to be licking up each other's saliva. Whereas in the wild, typically they're not going to eat that close together, so the chances of them eating or picking things up off the ground, acorns that have another deer's saliva already on there, are not quite as much. That's the reason for it anyway. So that's there. The importation, by that we mean you cannot bring any deer in or out of the state, period, that is not completely removed from the bone. Okay.
Say that one more time. Say that again.
You have to completely remove the meat off of the bone of a deer before you can take that deer into the state. So if you go to Missouri and you shoot a deer, or go to Oklahoma or anywhere else, you can't bring that deer you can't bring the whole carcass in. You've got to take the meat off of the bone, debone them, which is, eventually you're going to do that anyway, where you have to do it before you bring it into the state. Similarly, it's the same regulations in and out of the CWD zone. You can't, for example, shoot a deer in, say, Marion County, which is in the zone, and then take it to your house in Baxter County, which is outside of the zone, until you've deboned the meat. Okay, so only clean skull plates. Now this becomes an issue with if you're going to mount it. Typically, you're going to cape the deer up. By caping it out, I mean you're going to take the skin up to the neck and then bring the whole head and all that kind of stuff. Typically, that's how you would bring your product to a taxidermist. Now what you'll need to do is still do all of that, but take the horns, completely debone the meat, all of that, and then take it to a taxidermist in the zone, which now there are. It's created some complications for taxidermists like the guy down here in Gassville. He's outside of the zone. I think that John said he was going to open up an operation in the zone as well, just to service those customers. And then once he gets them to that point, and that's a clean carcass, then he can take it to a shop and work on it.
I've got the CWD map on right here. You want to throw that up?
Boy, the rain is coming down.
It sure is, yeah.
You can actually, the zone is not separated by the river. It's actually, you can go basically into Yellow before you get into that zone, it looks like.
Right. Yeah, the river has nothing to do with the CWD zone.
Right.
The river defines the deer zones, the general deer zones, but the CWD zone, right.
This red area is a 10-mile buffer.
Yes.
So like in Marion County, this line right here is going to be 10 miles east of the most western found in that area.
Correct.
But it's still so odd, Dennis, that you have that large concentration in Newton County.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and it's a puzzle to. I mean, there are people whose full-time job now, and we're talking some pretty highly educated, high-level folks here. We're not talking about, somebody with an opinion on everything here. They're still looking at why that is, and of course, there's all kinds of theories. I'm not going to start spelling them out for fear that they'll be construed as Game and Fish's position, but there's different theories as to why and how that is.
Was there at any time any toxic waste 100 years ago? I mean, what could we have over 100 years ago?
I don't know.
It's weird. The large concentration in Newton County that gets up into Carroll and Boone.
That is one of the areas where they, well, not one of the areas, that's the primary area where the elk were released when they were imported back in, whenever that was, 80 something.
Really?
There's some theories that think it might have to do with that, although they know where those elk came from. And we not only CWD test, but we also DNA test.
Yeah.
We can tell exactly where an animal came from with a DNA test.
Huh.
And it's not really showing us anything conclusive in that regard. That's one of the theories, is people saying, well, it was brought in with the elk because look where it is.
And funny, I brought up the CWs. This is the Missouri CWD free-ranging positives. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8 of them. I don't know. And I'm not looking at the right stats here, and most of these are just south of St. Louis over the Mississippi River.
Right. Does it say there, I can't read this far away, does it say when Missouri got their first positive? I can't remember if they were one of the states previous to us or not.
Macon County had 5 reported in 2011 and 2012.
That sounds about what I was thinking. Okay, yeah.
And I think this was updated through April 6th of 2018.
And that became a big deal because we established our importation restrictions, I want to say in 14. It was a few years before we actually had a positive. We were doing it as a preemptive move so that we would at least retard, if not remove, the possibility of us having CWD.
And that's odd. Macon County, Missouri, they're the highest concentration. Adair County at 13, well, 26 for Macon County, Missouri. And since 2011 through current date, they have had 75 total.
Yeah. Yeah, in 14 we established a regulation saying you cannot import any deer taken from another CWD state.
Huh.
And I remember Missouri being on that list. We have a lot of hunters in Arkansas that hunt both states. A lot of Arkansas residents hunt as a non-resident up there. And so that became quite a concern. And then, because it was growing even more, we increased that restriction to say we won't let you bring any deer in from any other state, period, regardless of whether it's CWD or not. We did that, I think, in early 15, and then in 15, that was also the same year that we found that positive cow elk over in Newton County. So anyway, that's kind of the update on
County,
CWD.
They are, I'm trying to get a see where they're at in reference. They're wow, they're way up
take
north.
A quick break.
Wow, it's that late already. My goodness, it always happens when Dennis is here. That's northeast. Sure it's well, it's west of Quincy, Illinois. It's a long way off. Okay, quick break. Be right back.
Hello, I'm Charles Ferguson. Here at Mountain View Chevrolet, we still do business the old-fashioned way with honesty and integrity. And we have a good inventory of new Chevy cars, trucks, and SUVs from large to small. Our service department has all GM certified technicians, and our friendly salespeople are ready and eager to fit a car truck to your needs in a price range you can afford. We also have a lot full of pre-owned cars and trucks, program and new car trade-ins to choose from. So come see us at Mountain View Chevrolet.
Jim Brown Company keeps you cool when it's hot and warm when it's not. A trusted name in the mountain home community, Jim Brown Company provides timely heating and cooling installation and repairs. Our certified technicians incorporate new technology on every job to provide you with the most advanced services. At our metal fabrication shop, we handle projects big and small. We've created everything from commercial ducts to custom designs.
I'd recommend Jim Brown Company to my friends and neighbors. The reason being they have high-tech equipment. Their service techs are well qualified for the job that they do, and they also send me a report after all the work is done so I know exactly what my unit's doing.
By visiting our showroom, you can learn all about our heating and cooling products. We'll educate you on your options and help you decide on the right solution. For total comfort at your home or business, choose Jim Brown Company. Quality service with a family name since 1964.
Come on down to In the Company of Dogs, where your dog will be treated like family. We offer professional service with over 30 years experience for all your grooming and obedience needs. Away from home during the day and your dog is left home alone? No problem. We also offer doggy daycare. You can be assured that your dog will be comfortable at all times, and we never use any harsh corrections. We're located in the College Shopping Plaza in Mountain Home next to the Dollar General, or give us a call at 870-232-1784. It's a great day in the company of dogs.
If you want the best breakfast or lunch in the Twin Lakes area, then you've got to come to the Old Time Restaurant. Voted the best breakfast and lunch for 2011, the Old Time Restaurant not only gives you the Southern hospitality right when you walk in the door, they also offer scrumptious breakfast options to curb that early morning appetite. Or stop in later in the day for a tasty sandwich, salad, or a daily special. If a sweet tooth is your guilty pleasure, you can't go wrong with the Pie Lady cooking out over 30 different types of pies. That's the Old Time Restaurant located on the square in Mountain Home.
Coming up on 7:51 here in a few seconds, continue with Dennis Dunderdale. This is the fastest day. Whenever you're here is zoop,
Like Rush, right?
Oh,
Fastest 3 hours in broadcast
there you go.
history, whatever. Dale, you were just asking me about, we're looking at the homepage on the Game and Fish website, and there's, several different topics because we've been focusing primarily on deer season. Before I get off on this, I want to make sure I remind everybody this Saturday and Sunday is the youth deer hunting season. Okay, so youths under 16 years of age can hunt with an adult licensed hunter. Read the regs. There's some stipulations on who and how and where, but please take a kid hunting this weekend. Let's keep this heritage alive, and we're losing hunters faster than we can replace them. This is our opportunity to get a kid out into the woods and do that. And a big shout out to Dwayne Hayter, by the way. He is busting his back getting kids out with this Cross Trail Outfitters. Yes. It's a nationwide group. He's focused over at the Twin Lakes. Is it Twin Lakes? No, what's the Baptist church there on 62?
Christ-on Ford?
Yeah.
It's Twin Lakes Baptist.
Yeah, that is Twin Lakes. And anyway, that's the church that they're kind of centered around. But it goes beyond that. You don't have to be a member of that church. But he is going nuts getting these kids out there. We just had an archery youth hunt 2 weeks ago. 7 kids involved, and they took 5 deer. All of them first-time archery hunters. They all got their first deer with a bow.
Wow,
it's just great. And he's got another group of kids he's taking out this Saturday. So anyway, he really deserves a plug. If you see Dwayne out in the community, just stop and thank him for what he's doing, because he's probably more than any single individual I know creating our next generation of not just hunters. He's doing it with fishing too. And talk about ethics. But anyway, let's talk. I wanted to quickly mention on the website, it talks about public meetings to focus on the die-off on hardwoods for Hurricane Lake Wildlife Management Area. In the nutshell, here's what's going on. We flood certain areas. This is for duck hunters, okay, for waterfowl hunters. We artificially flood certain wildlife management areas to create attractive feeding grounds for waterfowl. It used to happen naturally, and it still does happen naturally in many places, but we've artificially created that environment, where we would start flooding in October, and we'd flood it at a fairly significant level to get boats in there and all of that. And what we're finding is this has been going on for decades, probably 50, 60 years. This maybe even more. This is now what we're finding is it's detrimental to the hardwood trees, and we've stopped that practice. We're leaving those gates open, meaning that they will only flood naturally now, which is fine. If they flood naturally, that's how it used to be, because it wasn't always the same amount of water for exactly the same amount of time at exactly the same period every year. In a natural environment, it might be a 5-foot flood one year, a 1-foot flood, maybe nothing the following, maybe real heavy for 2 or 3 years, and it wouldn't always start on the same day, and it wouldn't always end on the same day. So it kind of balanced things out. So that's what this is all about, and they're changing what they're doing in order to manage those areas in terms of not flooding them as much, and of course that's creating some concern for some of the waterfowl hunters. So that's what that's all about. We got a few more minutes here. We started talking about hunter ethics, a little while ago. Rifle season opens up. You had the dates there a little bit ago, but it's a week from this coming Saturday, whatever that date is when the modern gun season starts. So now we mentioned this last time. Hey, get out and sight in your rifle early. Don't wait till now. Well, maybe you waited till now, because a lot of folks do, and you'll find that the ranges are going to be a little more crowded. Now, if you're lucky enough to have private land where you can do that, great. The point is, go do it. Hunting, sighting in your rifle, having an accurate firearm, and being an accurate shooter isn't just a matter of increasing your odds for a successful hunt. It's probably the most, or one of the most significant elements of hunter ethics that there is. If you don't know for sure when you take that shot that you're, in all likelihood, like 95% probability, going to have a quick, clean, humane kill, then you're just simply not ethical, and I'll just put it out there. Similarly, if you're not real sure what your personal effective range is, Scooter, you're a hunter, you've been doing it for years, so you have a good idea what shot you're willing to take and what one you're going to say, that's just too far, I can't. And I do too. And I'm not now my brother, the guy's he was a Marine Corps sniper, and the guy can shoot. I don't know where he got it. We all grew up in the city, but I don't have quite that skill. I have to work real hard to be predictably accurate at about 150 yards. Now that's not a long.
Using what rifle?
I shoot a Browning lever action in a 7mm 08. And it's just a great flat trajectory. I don't want to get into all the science behind it, but it's a great rifle for deer hunting in this part of the world. And I know that's about where I'm good at. If I'm looking at a 200-yard shot, man, if I don't have all day to figure out the ballistics and the drops, now 200 yards is not a lot for some people. Some people can take a 200-yard shot. And
that's 2 football fields.
I have to say I'm probably 150 where I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
What rifle?
I could,
What are you using?
That would probably be a 30-06. I usually, if I'm doing long shots, it's going to be a 30-06. If I'm walking around, it'll be a 30-30. It's a good brush gun.
Yep, and that's kind of where the 7mm, where mine is. It's a lever action, about the same length as a Winchester. Do you have a 94? Yeah. It's about that same profile, just a different type of bullet. But anyway, the point I'm getting at is hunter ethics is something we don't talk enough about, in my opinion. And it's that. We tend to focus on what's legal and what's not legal. It's not illegal to take a 200-yard shot if you're only good at 150 yards, but is it the right thing to do? Yeah. And where ethics really comes into it, Aldo Leopold was he was the father of conservation, so the guy wrote some amazing stuff, and really to any outdoorsman needs to be one of their personal heroes. One of the things that he would say is, there's no grandstand out there in the woods. There's no audience, there's no applause, there's no booing, there's none of that. Now, if you're with a partner, maybe, but generally it's you and your conscience. And if you wait until it's up to you and your conscience to make whatever decision you think you might come across, in all likelihood you're going to fall to the temptation of doing the wrong thing. That's just kind of, sometimes that's how we do things. So if you think and plan well in advance of what your moral code's going to be, I'm not going to take a shot over whatever, 100 yards or whatever your distance is. I'm not going to go on somebody else's property without having permission to go on there, even if it's to recover my deer, or whatever your moral code is. You've got to decide before you go. And if you do that, then there's a pretty good chance when you get into that situation, your mind will remind yourself, okay, I've already decided I'm not going to do that. That's a whole lot better than saying, wow, look at that 12-pointer out there. I know it's on that other guy's land, but geez, he'll never know. And he probably won't.
You will for the rest of your life.
But you will, that's right.
One more minute.
So that's kind of the point that I was getting at there. Just a couple of points. We talked about this. Sight in beforehand. Know what your effective range is. Pass on that less than certain shot. We talked earlier about the being mistaken for game. Well, hunter oranges help that a lot, but still, we hear about cases where people only see part of the animal and they, so they take the shot through the brush or whatever. Avoid those kind of things. How you act when you know that nobody else is looking has everything to do with your moral, ethical code. And just because it's legal doesn't mean it's right.
That's right.
There's a lot of those gray areas. We just talked about duck hunting. And the common one is shooting a duck sitting on the water. It's not illegal. No law against that. But is it the right thing to do? Or shooting a squirrel out of a nest? Not illegal. But should you do it? No.
10 seconds.
So anyway, that's it. Let me give my phone number for anybody who has questions or something that we didn't cover on the show if you'd like me to follow up with. That number is 870-321-5548. My email address is just like my name, Denis with one N, DENIS .Dunderdale @agfc.ar.gov.
With that, we got to say goodbye. See you tomorrow. Enjoy the rain.
See you later.